Hey, this is Brad Hanewinkel from Next Home Simple Transitions. Wanted to take a moment and just share a market update and what's going on in our local market here in the St. Louis area. I've got the data pulled up for 8 main counties that I do a lot of business in. So I'm looking at St. Louis City, St. Louis County, St. Charles County, Jefferson County, Franklin County, all in Missouri, and on the Illinois side of the river, Monroe County, St. Clair County, and Madison County. So comparing all of these, starting with St. Louis County, St. Louis City, and St. Charles, one thing I wanted to point out is median sale price. Now, in each of these counties, the median sale price, they take all of the sale prices for the past month. All this data is looking back at May, and they put the sale prices in number order, and whatever the exact middle number is, that gives us our median sale price. Well, that's important because if we can compare the median sale price from one year over the next year, it shows us how much growth we've had in a given area. So when we look at the median sale price in St. Louis City, right, for the month of May, it sits at $221,900. St. Louis County, $245,000, and the hottest county in our metro, St. Charles County, $325,000. Comparing other counties in Jefferson and Franklin, Jefferson County, we are at $257,700, and Franklin County is at $227,500. Over in the Metro East, one thing that I found is there's actually very little data for Monroe County. There weren't a massive number of sales that are coming up in this. So when I look at some of the data, it seems a little bit skewed, and I think that's just solely on number of transactions that have come up in this data set. But in Madison County, the median sale price is $173,500. St. Clair County is $220,000. Monroe County, the median sale price is $100,000, which means half of the houses sold for $100,000 and half of the houses sold for $100,000 or more, and the other half sold for $100,000 or less. So when we look at closed sales in the same counties, according to this data set, Monroe County only saw 11 sales. So that just seems kind of skewed to me. St. Clair County, 331, and Madison County, 338. So looking at some of the other counties, closed sales last month were 121 in Franklin County, and Jefferson County is about 286. And then in our bigger counties, St. Charles County, St. Louis City saw 395, St. Louis County saw a little over 1,400, and St. Charles County saw 541. So looking at months of supply. So what this piece of data tells us is, unless there's some major change to the market, which we have had a major change recently, the rise in interest rates. If interest rates stay pretty consistent and number of jobs in an area stay pretty consistent, what we can do is we can look at the number of closed sales from the previous month. And if we divide the number of houses as if no other house was going to leave the market or enter the market, if we take the number of houses that are for sale and divide it by the number of sales that happened in the previous month, we can estimate how long would it take for everything to sell out. And based on that, it gives you an idea of how quickly you can get a house sold. So months of supply is very low, and it's historically low and has been this way for quite a while. St. Louis City sitting at 1.3 months of inventory, St. Louis County is at a month, and St. Charles County is at 0.9 months. So not a lot of houses for sale. When we look at Jefferson County, We have 1.5 months of inventory, and Franklin County is sitting at 2.4 months of inventory. Finally, the Metro East in Illinois, Monroe County is sitting at 2.9 months. St. Clair County is sitting at 1.9 months, and Madison County is 1.6 months. So not a lot of inventory. The next thing to take note on is percent of list price. So basically, if you list your house at a certain price, how much did you end up getting in the offer that you accepted and closed on? So for easy numbers, if you had a house listed at $100,000 and you sold it for $95,000, you would have a 95% list to sale price, percent of list price, or list to sale price ratio. When we're looking at, we have the median, which again, the median would be our middle number. And we'll also take a look at the average. So in our Illinois counties, when I look at the data, it always tends to be a little bit behind compared to some of our counties that have more business that happens, such as St. Charles and St. Louis County in Missouri. But in Monroe County, the median was 100%, St. Clair County 101.5%, and Madison County 100.7%. So looking at Monroe County at 100%, that means half the houses sold for 100% of the sale price or more and went over asking. The other half sold for exactly 100% or went below asking price. Looking at some other counties, Franklin County is sitting at a median of 100%, and Jefferson County, their median is 102.5%. Our average is in Franklin County 99.8%, which is still pretty high, and 103.4%. That means on average, the average house in Jefferson County sold for about 104% of what they asked for. So definitely went over asking price. So on a $200,000 house, it could be about $8,000 or $10,000. Let's take a look at St. Louis and St. Charles. So the median list to sale price ratio for the city was 101.2%, St. Louis County 103.9%, and St. Charles County is at 105.5%. We look at our average, the average list to sale price ratio in St. Louis City was 104.4, St. Louis County 104.5, and St. Charles County, which is the highest numbers of any of the counties in our metro, 106.5%. On average, the average house went about 106.5%. With the median being, for St. Charles County, with the median being at 105.5%, that's close to 106%. Half of the houses went for close to 106% or more. The other half went for 106% or less. So let's see. Things are still rocking and rolling in the St. Louis market. I know in the media we're hearing that we're starting to see a shift in the market, but if you look at a lot of our numbers, that shift hasn't really hit the St. Louis market yet. So at some point, the rise in interest rates, that will drop buyers out of the market eventually. They say for every percent the interest rate changes, it can change your affordability by as much as 15%. So eventually, some people are going to be knocked out of the bottom and we will have less buyers. So with that, eventually we're going to see days on market increasing, list sale price starting to go down, and inventory to start to increase. But we haven't seen those pressures yet. But the right recipe is happening where in time we should see that. The question is, when is that going to happen exactly? Days on market. So median days on market in St. Charles County, 4. St. Louis County, 5. St. Louis City, 7. That means in St. Louis County, half of the houses sold in 5 days or less, half of them sold in 5 days or more. The average is 12 days in St. Charles County, St. Louis City, 16 days, and St. Louis City, 27 days, and St. Louis County, 16. So when we're hearing that days on market is increasing across the country, it hasn't happened in our market, because if we look the past few months, it has been dropping down further and further, and it's stayed pretty low for a while. So we're still seeing very low days on market. Final stat I want to share, and actually, I'm sorry, let me show the other counties. Days on market in Franklin County is sitting on average 49 days, and Jefferson County on average is 17 days. The median for those two counties, Jefferson County, the median's 5 days on market. Franklin County is about 35 days. Let's take a look at the Metro East. So our median days on market for Monroe County is 8. St. Clair County, 27. Madison County, 31. The average is 38 in Madison, 46 in St. Clair, and Monroe County saw 47. Still relatively low across the board. Final stat I want to show you is showings to pending. And what that means is how many showings is a house getting before they get to a pending status. So usually at that point, they have an accepted contract and they've decided not to continue showing the house, and they're just going through the steps of that contract. So we have a median number and an average number. So on average, or the median for Monroe County, starting with the Metro East, Monroe County is at 3 days, St. Clair County is at 8 days, 8 showings, and Madison County about 8.5. The average till they see a contract is about 5.6 people or 5.7 people in Monroe County, St. Clair County 11.8, and Madison County 11.5. Looking at Jefferson and Franklin in Missouri, the median is 6 in Franklin and 11 in Jefferson. And 14.5, about 15 people walking through the house in Franklin, about 9.5 before they get a contract. In St. Louis City, the median is 12 showings. St. Louis County is exactly at 12 showings as well, and St. Charles County is 11. The average in St. Louis City, 15.9, so about 16 showings. St. Louis County is about 16 showings, and St. Charles County is at 5.8 showings. So let's look at what's going on in the whole country. So being a franchise of Next Home, we have a resource where we can pull. We have another source where we can pull the same data from and show you the same thing, just not in graph form in the same way. But let me show you what's going on across the entire U.S. based on the data we have. So currently there's 525 active listings in the market, and that's based over the last month, calculated mid-month. Median sold price across the United States. If we take every sold property in the United States and put those in number order, the very middle sold price was $382,000. There's about 483 1,000 listings right now that are new listings on the market across the US. And the median days on market is going up across the country. So 37 days on market. Months of supply is up. On average across the country, 3.93 is the month's inventory. So again, if we imagine no other houses were to be listed on the market, and we think of how many buyers we had last month, how long would it take before we sold completely out of houses? So that number, so as you can see, some of these numbers are going up across the country. So when we look at that, that could explain why we're hearing in the media across the country that the market is starting to slow down. Generally, what we see is it slows down one market at a time. It doesn't happen across the entire United States like that. It's one market at a time, and it'll slowly happen to everybody. And it's happening in many markets across the US. St. Louis, we just haven't seen those numbers yet, especially when it comes to looking at St. Charles and St. Louis County, which has some of the heaviest activity in our entire metro area. Final thing, I just want to show a snapshot of what's happened in the past 7 days. So new listings, we have about 1,200 listings. Now this is for our entire MLS. Our entire MLS, it's for the whole St. Louis area, but it can stretch to certain counties in mid-Missouri and continues up the state of Illinois by several counties as well. So we cover quite a vast area, and across that entire area in the past 7 days, about 1,200 houses hit the market. When I look at the past 7 days, there were about, for price changes, we saw a total of 624 price changes. In the past 24 hours, there were 189 of them. When I look at that, there are more price changes, especially happening in the immediate metro area, but not a significant number of them. 25 of the price changes that happened in the last 24 hours were actually price increases. So we are starting to see some of the properties that may have been a little overpriced bring their price down just slightly or a little bit, but we're not seeing tons and tons of price changes yet. Closed properties, about 1,300 closed properties in the past 7 days. And we're seeing some properties expire, but still really a drop in the bucket. 138 properties expired in the last 7 days. So an expired property is when you list your house for sale and it doesn't sell, eventually your listing contract does expire. So again, at some point, it's, the straw's got to break, and the market is going to shift. But at this point, we still have a very strong market. With that being said, depending on what part of the metro you're in, you may still want to be aggressive with your offers. But it's important to talk with a realtor and look at the data that's very specific to the zip code that you're looking to buy in to make an informed decision on if you're buying. If you're selling, at some point things are going to change, and the market will start decelerating in the St. Louis area like it is across the country, but it hasn't completely done that yet. So we'll keep an eye on the market and see what happens next month. With that being said, if I can help you in any way, don't hesitate to reach out. 314-578-7212. Talk to you guys soon.